Hello, fifth graders. Happy Friday. It is Friday. So, we've learned some really great idioms this week. The coast is clear. It is safe to do something or go somewhere because no one is watching or listening who would prevent you or catch you. Take or carry to the grave means to not reveal or share a secret until the day one dies. If something is fishy, this means you have a strong suspicion that something is wrong. You have a feeling that someone is being dishonest or hiding the truth on purpose to suspect wrongdoing. And the bell went off means this is when you are suspicious of something, when you realize something, when something alarming happens and it rings in your head like ding, 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 and you realize something's wrong. Today we have drop the bomb. Drop the bomb. Literally, this person's dropping and there's a bomb. It doesn't literally mean to drop an actual bomb, but it means when something sort of unexpected happens, because like a bomb, it would be shocking, it would be surprising, it'd be like, oh no, because once a bomb is dropped, there is nothing you can really do about it. It's going to explode, and that'll pretty much be it. So similarly, if it means to do or say something that is very shocking and unexpected. So, in The Watsons Go to Birmingham, on page 77, Byron snatched the groceries off the shelf. Remember how Byron and Kenny were sent by Mama to Mitchell's to get the loaf of bread, tomato paste, and milk. So, on page 77, Byron snatched the groceries off the shelf. The text states, "Then he dropped the bomb on me." Byron told Kenny to get in line and hold their spot. Meanwhile, Byron went to hide in the comic section because he didn't want to be embarrassed. So he dropped the bomb on Kenny because he made Kenny get in line to sign for the groceries. Byron didn't want to be embarrassed, so Byron dropped the bomb on Kenny. So we can use the past tense version, dropped the bomb. But this is something shocking and unexpected. And of course, Kenny was like, oh no, because he knew there was nothing he could do about it. We have learned this week the prefix mis, which means bad or wrong. So we learned mistreat, to treat a person or animal badly. Misplace, to lose something for a short time by putting it in the wrong place. To misbehave means to behave badly or cause trouble or annoy people. And to mislead means to make someone believe something that is not true by giving them information that is false or not complete. Now, to misinform is kind of similar to that. So I gave you different forms of the word as well. To misinform, past tense misinformed, or the noun misinformation. I gave you all these versions because actually this word misinformation has been in the news a lot lately with misinformation about mask wearing, or there's misinformation about vaccines, or there's misinformation about lately with, let's say, right-wing parties that believe that Trump lost the election or should have won the election instead of losing it. There was a lot of misinformation about that, so it wasn't true. President Biden won the election legitimately, but there was a lot of information in some circles, people believing that President Trump, that this election was stolen from him. So I've heard that word a lot in the news recently, and so I thought it would be timely to share that word with you. But in terms of our book, Byron misinformed Kenny and Joey by telling them that Southern folks get frozen and taken by garbage trucks. So he misinformed them. What does this mean? To give someone information that is incorrect or wrong. It's wrong information. So notice a pattern that mis means bad or wrong. And pretty much all the definitions we've had have wrong or bad in them. See? Badly, wrong place, behave badly, wrong information. So we've learned this great prefix, and if you see it with another base word, you're going to know that this word, mis, means bad, has something to do with bad or wrong. So for example, if I say, did you misspell the word? then you might say, okay, misspell. Miss means bad or wrong. I must have spelled the word in a wrong way. I spelled it incorrectly. Okay. Maybe you hear the word misfortune. Misfortune. Maybe we could say, the family had the misfortune of the dad losing his job, so he had to stay home and they lost income. So this is when something bad happens, when something unfortunate happens. Okay, so if you see it with another base word, you're going to know that miss means bad or wrong. And that can be a big clue, especially when you come across a word that you don't know. So that's the whole point of this, to try to use these suffixes, prefixes, these affixes to help you learn new words. Finally, we've learned the Latin root cred, which means believe. We learned incredible, too strange to be believed, very difficult to believe. If someone is credible, or that means they're able to be believed or trusted, a credible witness, a credible person. To discredit means to make people stop respecting or trusting someone or something. To make people stop believing in a particular idea, dis meaning not. We learned the word incredulous when someone is unable or unwilling to believe something, or an incredulous idea. An incredulous person is like, oh no, I can't believe this. So we have the word credit. Credit has a couple of definitions, but I chose this one. An arrangement with a shop, bank, etc. that allows you to buy something and pay for it later. So these days, people use what's called a credit card. So they can buy things with it at the store, but they still have to pay for it, but they might not pay for it till the end of the month, say. So it'll be all of the expenses will be added up, and then you have to pay for it later on. So it's how people can get credit. So if you don't have enough money now, you can buy it on credit and pay for it later, or you can pay for it over time, especially if it's like a big purchase. Sometimes people do this. Like if you have to buy a refrigerator, it's very expensive. So you might buy it on credit with a credit card and pay for it for several months until you pay it off. Now in our story, the Watsons have credit at Mr. Mitchell's grocery store. They can get items now, and then Mr. Watson will pay for it all on payday. The groceries aren't free, they just owe it all later on. So that's a similar idea, right? They have credit at the store. And in the older days, grocery stores did that. Especially in a small town, everyone knows everyone, so they're not going to get away with just not paying for it later. Everybody knows everybody. So this is a visualization of an old grocery store, what that would have looked like. So they get credit, and so when Byron, buys those Swedish creams on credit, he doesn't realize that Mr. Watson's going to have to pay for that later. Nothing's free. So good job learning the Latin root for the week, students. Cred meaning believe. We learned the prefix miss, which means bad or wrong. And we learned a bunch of great idioms that I hope that you can use later on when you speak or when you write. Have a wonderful weekend.